smoke is quieting down. Seems like we've got to a lot of the smoke. Dub, you got smoke?
Ooh, oh snap, man! It seems like Queen's Flip finally got Melyssa for back. For all that snitching and funny movement she's been making on behind the scenes. You know what I mean, and on the pod. Now y'all remember, I just covered how Mel always finds a way to dodge accountability. Right? She always got that slick corporate mouth, always redirecting, always projecting, always putting the spotlight on her co-host whenever she's in a hot seat. But this time, Flip didn't waste a second. He saw his opportunity and pounced like a Bronx pit bull off the leash. And to keep it a buck with y'all, this ain't the first time these two clashed. Remember when Melyssa was low-key salty about Flip's contract? Yeah. The one that gave him a green light to come and go as he pleased and still get paid. Right? She was tight about that. You could see it all in her face on every pod. But that envy brewed slow but steady. Right? And it turned into a stew. A pot of snitch gumbo. You feel me? And that's what's been going on. Now, in this clip, I'm about to break down right now. What really caught me off guard was how the other male cast members responded. This joint had me looking at them a little different. But then I had to think, why are they acting like this? Let's take a look at this together. Look at the files.
We know. Anyway, what were you trying to say?
Yo, girl, you just open up a... What the fuck? What are you doing?
Nigga with the turkey leg hut.
You opening up wine? Nigga bought wine.
Yo, do you do this?
Look, she bought a wine bottle and popped it open during the broadcast.
Yo, you snitching.
I don't give
Snitching. Why you be on Mel's body like that? As much as you get up and go do what you want, walk to the side, and leave for 40 minutes,
I'm about to do it again. Keep hyping everybody up, nigga. Do it again. Trying to be respectful, man. Chill out.
Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry.
I did that fire. I got a problem with that. Oh, you thought you'll get me? You thought I was down for her? That's fire.
All right, now, I'm not going to lie. I seriously wonder how much Mel really drinks on the job. Y'all peeped those episodes where she was a little tipsy, right? Now, I ain't mad. She actually performed better in some of them. So maybe wine sipping is low-key accepted over there at the JBP. But let's be real. That ain't the most professional look, especially when you just get up mid-pod and pop a bottle like it's, brunch in the Hamptons. And Joe's initial reaction said everything. His first instinct wasn't to joke. It was to say, do you do this at Hot and Bothered? But he caught himself. And that was a bar. Because it sounded like a check in disguise. But then Joe flipped it, no pun intended. He turned that spotlight right back on Flip. See, I think Joe does have a problem with Mel's random wine-popping behavior. But he let it slide so many times that now it's baked into the culture of the show. And when you let little things slide, they grow teeth. Try correcting it later, and now you're the bad guy, right? Now, let's not forget, there was already a time where a lot of people were talking about Mel, calling her an alcoholic. So her getting up mid-recording to pour glass, that's not really helping the narrative. Not even a little bit. And we've heard whispers, Joe's been, throwing subtle hints that he might be cool with Mel leaving the pod. He doesn't say it too much directly. Well, actually, he did. But in one of, these clips that's going to come up soon. But you actually do feel it. You feel it. He has planted so many seeds, that shows that he doesn't even want Mel there. But in this moment, instead of leaning in, Joe chose to turn on Flip. He asked, why are you on Mel's body like that? Which to me, that was Joe deflecting, of course. Because, deep down, I feel like he really wanted to check Mel too. But politically, it's smoother to just double down on Flip, and keep it nice. You feel me? But now, here's where it gets a little interesting. Ish out of nowhere jumps out the window first and tells Flip that he's snitching, which was crazy because Mel always tries to use Ish as her reference point, when she's in trouble as well. She'd be like, well, Ish does it too, what's going on with Ish? But, Ish is from the street, so he lives by that code. And even if Mel is snitching, you feel me, he ain't going to throw her under the bus. Flip, not so much. Flip is going to get his lick back every time. That's his character. It's petty, but let's not lie. It makes for great content. But Mel drinking on the job, man, I don't know. Mel got to be careful because if she, ever gets dropped from the JBP, they'll use every one of these moments against her, and it'll be ugly, trust me. Just like I said in another video when she was getting degraded on the show, yeah, Mel could have a lawsuit one day, but on the flip side, the JBP got a lot of ammo, receipts, videos, audio, and her pulling corks mid-episode. You see what I'm saying? Now, that ain't going to age well in court. I really hope this crew doesn't have a nasty breakup because, I've seen enough reality TV to know vulnerability at the workplace is a double-edged sword. All that laughing, joking, trauma bonding, and all that is cute until the fallout. And when the split comes, it's going to be messy because now it's personal. I could see Ian over there, brainstorming, trying to clean all of this up if something like that would have happened. Now, listen, I'm going to ask y'all some questions. Right, it's just because this is crazy. Do y'all think it's professional for Mel to be drinking on the job, especially during a live recorded show, or is it not that deep? If it helps her loosen up. Well, technically, it's not live recorded because they could have edited it out. So another question is why would they have kept that on the show too? That's another question. Are they trying to trip Mel up as well? Because they could have edited that out. Good question. Right? Now, has Joe Budden been too lenient with Mel, or is he letting her hang herself for the sake of future leverage? Was Queen's Flip wrong for calling her out, or did he finally give Mel a taste of her own snitchy medicine? Right? And if the JBP ever falls apart, who do you think will fire the first public shot? Mel, Flip, Joe? I think Joe, but who do you guys think outside of Mel or Flip, if they were to get fired, who would fire the first shot? And lastly, should drinking be allowed during podcast recordings? If it's a part of the vibe, maybe cool, or is that a slippery slope when dealing with serious business? So let me know what you think in the comments, man, and we will be back with the files.
My guy Dub too, that's my man though.
Gang gang.
That's my man, Big Dub.